Like to talk about the new Netflix movie, White Noise. There's some previous iterations of movies, same name, very different concepts. So if you're looking for a remake of the horror genre, this isn't it. This will be spoiler free, just giving people a heads up if they're looking for something to watch. This is an odd movie. It's quirky, cerebral. So I guess how to explain it in a way without giving anything away. Movie set in the early to mid 1980s. It gives me, and I don't know if this is helpful, a World According to Garp kind of vibe, which was a book which was turned into a movie that would starred Robin Williams. It's one of those movies where it's kind of like you're just watching the general progression of life going on. And for the most part, you aren't seeing huge dramatic things. And then eventually, by the center of the movie, there is a dramatic thing, but the gist of it isn't your standard plot driven, here's a problem, we have to solve the problem. It's more of a, here's a mental state we're in, this mental state gets jarred, and here's how we deal with the aftermath with our new mental state. Uh, so the movie is a lot of strange and interesting dialogue. In a lot of ways, the movie is almost like an endless series of non sequiturs. So at points, you're just kind of be shaking your head, going, okay, there's that, there's that, there's that. And all of a sudden, something pops out that's kind of absurd that'll make you laugh. I didn't find myself belly laughing through the thing, but I did chuckle at numerous points. Uh, in general, I did not find any point of the movie particularly boring because they are presenting things in the flow of the movie will kind of keep you in the movie of what's going on, even if there's a lot of points where you're kind of scratching your head wondering what's happening. It is a little on the artsy side. So if you're fond of car chases and explosions, probably not your movie. However, uh, if you like something that's a little bit odd, it's very well acted. They, I believe, the movie was shot on film, so it gives the very much the feel of the era. So it looks good, and they have a lot of sets in the movie that are very specifically designed to kind of evoke specific reactions. So uh, everything looks pretty decent. It's a decent movie to watch. Uh, just to give you one little idea of what's going on in the movie. It's just part of the building of the general plot. Uh, Imagine a lecture on Elvis and a lecture on Hitler, and comparing these two individuals for the areas where they're alike. That's kind of an idea of the quirkiness level of this. Um, Now, it, for some people, it might be difficult to understand what the plot is because the plot is actually happening. Uh, it is it's a state of mind thing where it's like I view the world in this particular way. Now I'm questioning it. Now I have a new way of looking at things. So not your typical straightforward plot. but I found it interesting nonetheless. If you're not familiar with the world according to Garp, the next closest thing uh, I can think of would be Forrest Gump. Uh, Not quite as because Forrest Gump is kind of full of itself. It's although it's presented non-seriously, everyone took it very seriously. This doesn't have that kind of epic feel to it. It's definitely, you know, the center is a family, and the primary plot is happening to the mother and father, and who are very good actors in this. So if anybody watches this and then ends up having a WTF moment at the end saying, "What did I just see?" I do I had my own ideas coming out of this, read what other people were saying, and I come up with a very good way of explaining exactly what's going on and what's happening. If anyone's interested in that, please drop that in the comments section, and then I will throw up a spoiler-laden version of this explaining what's actually going on in there. Uh, so, uh, yeah. So if you do comment on this one, please don't throw any spoilers in there because obviously people who are watching this may not want to know what's going on in it. If the YouTube algorithm brought you here by accident, please consider subscribing to my channel. Please hit the like button. And if you think someone might find this interesting, consider sharing it with them. So, thank you for spending time with me this evening. Hope to see you again in a future video.